Good day. I am Lateesha Hinton with Soul Spread Wisdom. And today I want to go back and go over the moon signs. So I'm starting a new series of just taking a look at the moon in the natal chart and how it expresses itself. The moon is such an important part of who we are and how we move in the world. And it ultimately shows how we were nurtured as we were little children, how it is that we find safety, what makes us feel safe and comfortable. And then it also shows how we nurture other people who are close to us, who are in our lives. So I want to start with the sign of Aries, and then I'm going to just make a new recording for each sign. So when we talk about the natal moon being in the sign of Aries, we are talking about the moon, which is the ruler of the sign of Cancer. It is the most receptive part of us. The moon is the most receptive part. All of the feminine planets, of the two feminine planets, are the placements where we are really receptive. We receive, we are open. So when we have the moon coming into the sign of Aries, she is in the home of Mars, as Mars rules the sign of Aries. So the Aries energy is one that is fire. It is cardinal, meaning that it leads out. It is adventurous. It is impulsive. It can just off the cuff need to make a move, So it is quick fire. And so that's what we have when we have the moon coming into the sign of Aries in the natal chart. You have someone who had the nurturing parent, or the nurturing person in their life was fire, the perception, because the moon, the natal moon is how we perceived our mother, or how we perceived the nurturing person that was in our lives. And I say, the nurturing person, because some people were raised by their grandmothers. Some people were raised in foster care. Some people were raised by their fathers. In this day and age, it runs the gamut. So, but how you perceived the nurturer in your life is what the moon is going to show. So this moon in Aries perceived the nurturing that they received as a child as someone who, again, was quick fire, was impulsive, who was played no games. They were not the mother figure, or the nurturer was not, lovey-dovey and coddling towards them. They perceive this person as being real sharp and like, let's get up, let's go. If you fail and you skinned your knee, you could have perceived that your mother was like, girl, get up. It's fine. Get up and just get up and let me get you a Band-Aid, or you'll be okay. Stop all that crying. You could perceive your mother as being that person that was, just really harsh. Get up, let's go. It's no time for crying. We have something to do. You don't have time to be weak. Because we're talking about the nurturing energy coming into the temple of Mars, where Mars has to offer these sharp knives, this warrior energy, this pull yourself up by your bootstraps type of energy that is associated with Mars. So that's the type of feeling that you could have perceived as your nurturer, and even if you made a mistake or you said something wrong, you could have perceived that your mother was the one who would smack you. If you said something that they didn't like, you get hit real quick, for saying something that they didn't like, or you did something, they would be quick to correct you, physically. You get the spanking, you get the whipping, and it wasn't a whole bunch of conversation about it. And it was like you felt like, you had to be a soldier. You had to, step in line, step quick. And so this is how you could have perceived your parent. So then when we look at what it is that makes you feel safe and nurtured in a relationship, because the moon is so powerful in how you want to receive, that tender, loving care, at home from your partner. If you are living with someone, how is it that they can make you feel safe and comfortable? Because the moon is habitual. It's all that time that we were growing up, or we were with our mother or our nurturer, however that looked or came about. It's habitual. It's the habits that are ingrained within us that make us feel the most safe. And when anything comes up, or anything scares us, or anything should happen, we're gonna go back to our moon. This is where we feel safe. This is where we feel nurtured. If something scares us, we're going to retreat back to the moon, because this is the most familiar, hidden place. So with this moon in Aries, what makes us feel safe, or makes a person with the moon in Aries feel safe, is having an ability to go and have new adventures, to see something new, to have fiery conversations, to have even new types of entertainment, to be able to move about and explore, and to also, Aries is a sign that needs to be conquering something new. It needs to be helping the damsel in distress, the person who is downtrodden, or the underdog. That's it. Aries needs to be helping the underdog. So Aries moon is feeling most comfortable when there is someone who is in need and they can come to the rescue. Someone, a child who nobody is paying attention to, or somebody is mistreating. That Aries moon feels comfortable jumping up and being able to help and nurture and come to the rescue for that child that's in need, or that person who is the underdog that's in need. And so Aries is going to revert back to that and feels most comfortable while doing that, And with the moon in Aries, the moon in and of itself is very changeable. It changes signs every 2.5 days, and it wanes and it waxes. It changes phases, from one day to the next. And so with this fiery energy, the impulsivity of it is just that much more on the forefront. So it is moving quickly, needs to be able to move quickly and jump into action and take the lead in a situation. And that's where it feels most comfortable. Even at home, the Aries moon in a relationship is going to need to be taking the lead on solving the problem. So you have a female, a woman with an Aries moon at home with her partner who may have an Aquarius moon. That woman with that Aries moon has that Martian energy is going to be taking the lead. It's going to be moving things forward. It's going to be making the phone calls. It's going to be handling the issues, very quickly before that moon in Aquarius can jump to the situation, or that moon in Gemini can jump to the situation. So you have a moon that is making moves, taking charge, and feels comfortable doing so. It feels very comfortable taking the lead and making things happen and making things shake, and not sitting around waiting on someone else to make decisions or lead out. And then, so that is how that moon feels safe. And then, so as far as the type of nurturing that they want to receive from another person, is that they want to be allowed. They want to be allowed to lead. They don't want to be stifled. The moon does not want to be held down. They don't want someone trying to contain their fire, or telling them, no, sit back. Why did you move out? Why didn't you let me lead? And, with that moon in Aries, it's competitive. There is this really competitive nature to the moon in Aries. It wants to win, subconsciously. So oftentimes, with that moon in Aries, you can see in the home with the partner, there's this playful competitiveness. That moon wants to be playing video games with their partner, with the people they live with, because their nature is one. Again, there's Mars is there, so it's competing for the prize, oftentimes. And that is something that the moon in Aries needs to be cautious of, because it can go too far. It can become combative. It can become divisive, because when we talk about Mars energy, we're talking about the energy of the swords. So it is an energy that can be divisive. And so when we have that, you want to be careful. You want to take a look and see and analyze how far you want to go with the competitiveness, and perhaps dial it back some, because at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, am I really winning if I'm always competing with my partner? Am I really winning if I'm always competing with the people whom I live with? And the answer is going to be no. The answer is going to be no, because there's a time and place for everything. So sure, you can compete, with the video games, compete with the board games, play the game of charades or something like that, to compete, to win, to get that energy out, because the energy does need to come out. That competitive energy needs to come out. It's just a part of the moon in Aries. There's a part of that has to come out and will show up. But everything needs to have balance. Everything needs to have balance, so that you can have healthy relationships that remain. Because Martian energy, when there's too much, it can be divisive, and it can be destructive and impulsive. And so that's what I have for the natal moon in Aries. Again, my name is Lateesha Hinton, astrologer. Thank you so much for listening. And I say Ase 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 O.